You can paint just like the master. Learn from his teachings of evil.
Welcome, Reaper Mini fans! Today we have Rauthuros. This is the new Bones Black miniature by Reaper Miniatures. This is from the Demon line. So today we shall be going for some nice rich red colours. The miniature comes with a little base, but I don't like this little base, so I am going to be swapping out the base for a 100mm base boss base. I'll be using my rattle can primer. I'll use a red. I'll probably use one from the Games Workshop line. So what I'll do is I will come back and show you once I've got to that stage. But let's give you a little 360 of the miniature we're painting today. This is a beautiful demon. I do love the demons from Reaper Miniature. Let's go a bit closer. They did, there's two versions, well three versions of this miniature. They did the metal version, and they've done the Bones version, the original Bones version. And I'll show you the Bones version later on in the video. I've painted the metal version as well, but that's been sent away a long time ago to one of my customers. But this is a larger mini, it's more bulky. And I personally think it's 100% nicer than the old version. It really is beefed up. This is a bad boy. This is a real bad boy. So I will get this done. I will get the base, some gravel on the base. I will get this pre-primed, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how we get this painting done today. Demon skin is very simple. I'll go through the paints we need to, and I will do the skin and show you the skin textures today, and we'll go from there. Won't be long, be back soon. So my primer is on, and again the Bones Black is working perfectly with the rattle can primers. I cannot stress enough how happy I am, because this saves so much time, gives you a lovely even coat. I've used again the Games Workshop red, and it's come up lovely. So this is the primer coat. I was going to stick him to the base, but this has got quite a few difficult parts on the miniature to get to if I stick him on first. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get the miniature painted and then stick him to the base after he's done, and that will make life a little bit easier. Now the next stage is we want to give some shading to the whole miniature. Now I'm going to use White Blend Flesh Shade. This is again from Games Workshop. You can use reds from Vallejo, or Army Painter do a nice red as well. What you're looking for is a much darker red, and that will go into all the recesses of the miniature. So I'm going to go over all the miniature, all the skin areas with this ink wash, and I'll come back and then we'll go straight into the dry brushing, because we want to get the skin done first, because if you make any mistakes when you're doing your dry brushing, you go straight over and you can fix it, because you're going to be repainting all the swords and the shield a different colour anyway. So I'll come back once I've added the flesh shade. So my ink wash has now dried. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and dry brush all over the skin. I'm going to use Brilliant Red by MSP and Punk Rock Pink by MSP. Now I'm going to use these colours, and I'm using a large dry brush by Army Painter, and I'm just going to go over the skin areas. As I tell you before, if you go over to the skin first, doing the dry brushing, you can go over the whole miniature. You can make as much mess as you want, because you're going to be going over the rest of the miniature in a different colour, so we don't have to worry about making too much mess. So what I'm doing is just going over the muscles, Nice and easy, nice and fast. Just go over all the skin areas. Same on the back. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit of that punk rock pink, because I want to give a little bit of a lighter tone to the whole me. So we're going again back over. This brings out the flesh much better and highlights the highest areas. So what we do is we go over a little bit more pink into the red, just mix it in, and then we'll do that again with a bit of a lighter pink, just highlighting it and making it a little bit more lighter. This brings out all the tone and keeps the recesses dark. Let's add a bit more red. So as you can see, it's actually starting, the tone of the skin is starting to come out now. What I need to do now is add some lighter variant to the colour and just bring out some more highlight. First of all, I'm going just into the pink now, and I just want to touch up the area, just on the highest tips. It will just bring out a little bit more of the skin tone. Just in certain areas, the tops of the muscles, the head, the top of the chest, the back, fingers, top of the thigh there, places where a light source would probably hit them any. And that is roughly all you need to do for the skin so far. Later on I will give it a very light wash with a light black ink wash. And that will just give a little bit more shading to the skin and give a bit more skin tone. But what I'm going to do once this is finished, I will paint all the weapons. They will be all painted in gold, and I'll show you how to make your gold look more like gold and give a nicer shine to the gold. So what I'll do is I'll finish these skin tones and then I'll come back and show you what's next. So I just thought I'd show you the skin now. It's just about finished. What I've done now is I added more white to the pink and just kept on bringing up the highlights on the skin, and I've gone over with a light black ink wash, and as you can see, it's given a really nice effect to all the skin on the miniature. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint in all the hooves black, the horns will be black, and I shall paint all the weapons white first as an undercoat, and then I'll cover the undercoat with gold. I'll come back once I get to that stage. Oh, he's coming on really well now. I've added all the gold. I used gold from Army Painter. This is Kyrin gold from their Dungeons and Dragons box set that you can get. What I did then is I covered the gold with a Agrax Earthshade. This gives a very nice rustic look to the gold, and it gives it tarnish, and I really think it works really well with gold. It gives all the detail and the shading that you need. Now I've painted all the black parts in as well. I've added the base and the gravel. So all I need to do now is some fine details, and we're going to be just about done. I'll need to add some details to the leather. With the gold, what we do now with the gold is we go over the tips of all the weapons and the highest areas with the gold that we use, which will be this gold again. So that will be just to bring out the tips, and it'll give a nice light reflection. The horns I'll dry brush, and they'll get a little bit of highlighting from the dry brushing. I've got to finish off some of the bits on the back there, and the wings I have to do some blending on the wings, but that's a very fast job. You've all seen how I do my blending. Now with the face, what I've done is I'm going to give him a bit like a fire demon. So what I've done, I've painted dragon white, the whitest of white for the eyes and in the mouth. I will give that a yellow ink wash. So what will happen, it'll look like it's glowing fire from the inside, and that will be all you need to do for the face. Now I'll come back and show you the finished miniature, and if there's anything else to show you, I will show you. So here we are, this is the finished miniature, and it came out lovely. I really do like this miniature. I've added all the ink washes and the dry brushing, did the horns, and added a little bit of cream dry brushing to all the little horns and things, just to give a little bit of light, and it brings out all the detail around the horns. As you can see, the mouth, I added the ink wash, and that gives a nice glowy feel. Same with the eyes. And so this demon is finished. Now I wanted to show you the old version. This one is the old version. This is the first original bones. They did a metal one. The metal one is exactly the same, and this of course is the bones version, but I just wanted to show you the size comparison and the sculpt. I mean, I really like the old version, no doubt about it. It's a beautiful miniature, but the new version, it's just a beast. It's just a beast. It towers above the other one. I mean, this miniature is actually on a platform as well, and this one, you know, if I put it up to the same height as the mini, it's huge. I mean, I wouldn't want to meet either of them in a dungeon, but this one, definitely not. So there we are. This is my demon for today, and he's all done. I used a lovely paint, and now I will show you what's going to be painted next week. Next week we have another Bones Black miniature. This is Thunderfoot. Going all Jurassic Park. So next week I'll be showing you a nice jungle type base, and we'll be doing some nice foliage, and I'll show you how to do a nice dinosaur skin with some nice lines and effects with the dinosaur. Might even do some nice, like a swamp base with some nice water effects on this one. So this is next week. Thunderfoot. If you like my channel, then please subscribe. If you want to support the channel, then please become a patron. All patrons are added to the end credits of all my videos to say thank you. So until next time.
Goodbye, my fellow ones. Sleep well. Dream of evil paintbrushes.